Hey everyone, so I want to show you guys some basic blues riffs. So let's just look at how to do some blues. Okay, so something basic just like that. He uses this basic riff that you hear all the time, blues and rock and all kinds of music. So to do that one, you're on the A minor pentatonic. So on the third string, 7th fret, sorry, you're going to do a full step bend. And then with your pointer finger on the 1st and 2nd strings, you're going to play those 2 strings right after that. So you do bend, string, string. 3rd string, 2nd, 1st. And when that's faster, it sounds like... So you can use that to start all kinds of riffs. And so what I did there is this other bend. So that's on this part of the pentatonic scale. And that 2nd string, we're going to bend that one up the full step. So that's really another common way to bend. So if you do, that's a good way to start off blues, and you go anywhere from there in that major or that minor pentatonic. Okay, so in that one, you're starting with a pre-bent note. So you're starting this 3rd string all the way bent up, a full step. So you're starting with it bent a full step. You play it, you release it, but the way you release it is very quick. Just like that. So instead of a slow release, you're doing a quick release. And then after you release it, you cut the note short. So you're basically playing it staccato. So you do this pre-bend, release, but you cut it short at the end. And so you can add those, this kind of staccato pre-bent note anywhere in your riff. So in this riff we're going to use octaves. So we're going to play the same idea, but just in a different octave. So we played the same thing, but it's an octave higher. So this is in that kind of main part of that minor pentatonic scale. And then you do a full step bend on the 3rd string. And then you go up to this next part of the pentatonic scale, the house of blues they call it, on the 2nd string, to the 1st string, full step bend right there on the 1st string. So you're doing the same thing. Instead of on the 4th and 3rd strings, you do it on the 1st and 2nd strings. What is that? 1, 2, 3 frets up. So that's a really common idea. Try that all the time. Play a riff on one place and then play it an octave higher up the scale. Okay, so in this riff, we're going to use a little microtone or a quarter step bend. So that microtone or quarter step bend is right there. Because so here, that was a half step bend. But then on that 3rd string on the 5th fret, we don't bend it up a full half step. We don't bend it up a half step, we just bend it up halfway between a half step. So a half step would be here to here. But we're not going that high, we're just going... So it has this really kind of in-between sound. Really used in blues all the time. So now we're going to put together a bunch of those different ideas. So we got... that octave idea, and then we have the little microtone bend. So if you put those together creatively, so you have these little riffs, these little kind of phrase ideas that you use, but then you put things in between them, and you kind of have them as your go-to, but you put these other ideas in between, and you piece them together. That's how you can make an improvisation or a solo. octave part. And here's this one. There's that microtone there. Okay, so in this one, we're going to take the pentatonic shape, play the same shape up after the 12th fret. So it's a really easy way to get more sounds. What sounds like more sounds, you're really just playing an octave higher, but you can use that same shape. So here's your pentatonic shape. But if you play that up here, same thing. So instead of going 5 frets up from the open string, from the nut, you go 5 frets up from the 12th fret, because the 12th fret is basically the same as all the open strings at the nut, but it's an octave higher. So you think of right here as being right here. So 5 frets up from there, you go 5 frets up from here at the same shape. So if you play something down here, so it sounds like you're doing something new. You can throw that in there, but you can just do the same riff idea. Same thing, just an octave higher on that same shape. So here's another nice blues idea you can do. So you can do double stops. So double stops are just playing 2 notes at the same time. So you just take these notes right from the pentatonic. So I'm doing the 4th and 3rd string. 4th and 3rd string on the 5th fret, then the 7th fret. You can bend both of those up. You can do hammer-ons, pull-offs. But I'm just doing 2 strings at the same time, 2 notes at the same time. So it just adds a little bit of contrast. So if you're doing single notes, and then you come back to those double stops in between, it just adds a little bit of difference to your playing. And so here's a little tip about working on string bends. So when you're doing a string bend, you want to make sure that you're actually bending the string up to a particular pitch. So if I'm doing a full step, that means going from here to here. So you're not just bending wherever, you're bending to a specific place. So you try and hear that pitch. Da, 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 da. If it's too high, that's too high, or too low, da, 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 you're aiming for this pitch. And when you do a string bend, you want to make sure that you don't do this. So don't push up with your fingers. You don't want that. What you want is this. See that what I'm doing with my hand, I'm rotating my hand like this. So my fingers stay the same the whole time. My fingers are not stretching out. My fingers stay the same curved shape, but you rotate your hand like a doorknob handle.